Okay, so now we're going to work on a second tile. Because we can. It's fun. You're going to learn two. Because we're here. That's what we do. So we've learned 4 variations or new to us tangles on the first tile, and then 2 more on the second tile. So what that does is it expands your knowledge, right, of the tangle patterns between the white tile and this one, and just gives you an opportunity to explore variations of some of the ones that you know.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
So let's start. We'll pull out one more tile, and the rest you can tuck away. You're going to take those home with you and play with when you have time. You're welcome. And we are not doing a string for this one. So we're going freestyle. So we often do the corner dots, the border, the string, because those are comfort things, right? And that allows us to just kind of follow those steps. But now you've done a few tiles, so now we're just going to go crazy and just go freestyle. Okay. Which is actually how I tangle most of the time now. So I don't tangle with the string very often anymore. And if I do, I use a pattern as a string.
Oh,
I know, right?
That's cool.
So this is kind of that idea. So the pattern is the leafy shapes, and then filling it with another pattern. So then we're using it like a string.
Yeah.
Same with that one there.
Oh, that one
Right.
is amazing.
They probably can't see that.
We'll get it up.
Don't you worry. Don't you
And then
worry.
that other black and white one there, that's up towards the front,
Yeah,
same
I
idea.
was gonna say
right?
this one.
The blossom kind of pattern is a tangle, and then it's got tangles within it.
Yeah.
Right? And so I do a lot of that kind of thing now, and that's kind of my favorite thing to do. And they just kind of start somewhere on the tile, and you just go with the flow. Yep,
Why
exactly.
is it your favorite?
Because I think the elegance of limits is the whole idea behind the string, right? And so when you first start, I think it helps you to decide how to put things together and what works and what doesn't, and takes the stress out of it.
Yeah.
But that confines me a little bit now, right?
Yeah.
So I think to just kind of go freestyle, it just works a little better. But sometimes with limits, right? So if you do find a pattern that you think will work as a string, I like that because it's got some boundaries, right? But it's not confining you to specific areas per se.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let's go right in with our pen.
Okay.
And again, you might want to.
Pen. The stress.
I know, right? No stress. Anti-stress.
Yes,
Anti-stress. So again, to get it activated, often I'll turn the towel over and start with the date on the back, May 12th again. And I'm going to write that it's a second towel with my friends. And we might as well just write the name of the patterns there while we're back there anyway. So Munchin, Munchin, is one. And the other one is Indy, Indy dash Rella, like Cinderella, but Indy-rella. And that, I believe, was named after Molly, who's one of the daughters of Rick. Well, it's Maria's daughter. Her daughter is Indy, and so she named this one after Indy. And Munchin is, I'm not sure what the story is.
Just fun.
Yeah, just fun. And these two go really well together, I think. They're super kind of creative and fun, and just simple auras. It's really just auras, kind of C-shaped auras, and then more straight auras. And everyone will get a different look, for sure. So Munchin, we start off kind of with little stars in the sky. We're just going to put some dots, random areas on our top. Okay? It doesn't matter how many. Dot, and dot, and dot, and dot. And just a bunch. Random little dots. Knowing we can add more dots if we need them is very powerful. You've got a big solar system.
Yeah. can stop.
Watching people work.
I know, right? Everyone thinks of it, and like I said, they embrace it differently, right?
Yeah.
So now we want two dots that are close to each other. So you don't want to choose this dot and that dot because there's a dot between them.
Yeah.
So you want adjacent dots. And I want you to join two of those dots together with a line. I know.
Our part is over.
Yeah, that's right. Now you've got marks
We've
on your
started.
paper. You've started. Exactly. Okay. So now I want to look for a dot that I'm going to use those two as a base. So I've got that line. I've turned it so it's a base. And I'm looking for a dot that's close to it that will form kind of a triangular shape. So I've got lots of options here. I've got this one, I got that one, and I have that one. Okay, it doesn't matter which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose this one. And what I'm going to do to start this now, and I'm using this line as a base, is I'm going to connect that top one to the left side of that line at the bottom. And my pen's skipping a bit, so I'm just going to take a breath. And I'm just going to lightly go over it again. Okay, so it's a straightish line, right? And I'm going to fan out my auras now, but they're all going to originate at that one star. Okay, so that one star is going to get really dense because it's going to, every line is going to originate, but fan out from there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's going to hit the bottom, 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 all the way until that last line is drawn.
Okay.
Okay, so they're starting tight, and we call this a tethered aura. So they're tethered at one end and flare at the other. Okay, so I'm going to start tethered, and then get my pen working, and then tickle, 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 flare it out. Almost like bell-bottom jeans a little bit.
We were talking a bit about your classes. Do you have a favorite class to teach?
Well, I love teaching the intro class because I love the excitement that comes from people not realizing that they can be an artist, right? And I do find often people have that moment of, oh, okay, now I get it, right?
Yeah.
So I do love teaching the intro, but I don't do as many of those anymore. Most of my students have taken that, and so now they want more advanced stuff, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much every class I teach in the moment's my favorite.
That's
I often get asked, well, what's your favorite one? And I'm like, well, they all are when I'm doing them, right?
Yeah.
And, especially, I don't know, I make some of them into cards, and I've got stickers too with some of them on, and it's like, oh, this is my favorite one. Oh, no, that's my favorite one. No, I like that one the best, right? And so they're all my favorite at that point in time.
Aw.
Yeah. It's like asking who your favorite child is,
Yeah.
right? It's like, well, they all are.
Okay, I feel like I'm my favorite. I'm my parents' favorite, so
I'm your parents' favorite, actually.
I can see that.
Okay, so now we're going to use this munchin as a base for the next one. And so I'm going to turn it either so that line is my base or that line is my base. Doesn't matter, whichever one you want to. Because the next star, the next munchin is going to go perpendicular to it, right? So I've got this line as my base. There's a star right there, right? That one's too far away, so I'm going to do that one. If I don't have one, just add one. Okay, so if you don't have one that's kind of working, just add one. But I'm going to use this one now. Same thing, I'm going to join up, starting at the top and going to the left side of that baseline. Starting at the top, flaring at the bottom, until I get to the very far right side of that baseline. And every munchin is going to have a different shape because of the placement of the stars. Okay, so now you'll see on the examples that I have here, not every single munchin is connected to another one. Okay, so we're going to connect some of them, but we're going to have lots of opportunities for our next pattern to kind of come in. So I might not now connect this one. I might go and start another base somewhere else. Okay, just to give me some gaps. I want to have some gaps where the Indirella can go in. So maybe I'm going to connect these two now to form a base, and that'll give me the gap to the left of it here, this space here. So here's my base. Turn it to find a star. If there's no star, I can add one. and now I'm going to have my munchin going this direction. So the idea is kind of to have these more solid areas in different areas on the tile. So
Okay.
they're not all kind of in one area,
Yeah.
right? And just build as many munchin as we think we want on the tile, but leaving some free space because we do want to add Indie-rella into them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody's kind of satellite system. Everyone's little solar system here is going to look a little bit different.
I'm so locked in on it.
Yes, I know. It's drawing lines, whether they be curvy lines or straight lines, but anything that has a lot of auras is my zen.
Yeah.
So I guess when you talk about favorites, any pattern that has a lot of repetition to it is my favorites. And so a lot of the classes I teach actually end up kind of being that way with lots of repetition. So maybe those are my favorites.
For folks who are just getting into Zentangle, what advice would you have for them?
Definitely don't get wrapped up in comparing yourself to others, because everyone has a different starting point, right? And a continuation. So we call it comparanoia. So don't subscribe to that. Don't go, oh, mine's not good enough. Mine doesn't look like that. Mine's not the same, because we're not, right? You and I aren't the same, right?
Yeah.
So our art isn't supposed to look the same either. And I find that a lot of beginners get really wrapped up in that. I did too. I was guilty of that. And also not worrying if your tangles that end up on your paper look different than everyone else's, because again, we're not the same person. And even from the step out, I used to think that if mine didn't look exactly as Rick and Maria drew it, that mine was wrong. Not the case, right? It's just different. And sometimes you end up with some really cool explorations because yours is different, right? And it doesn't exactly match what the step out is. So not comparing, not getting wrapped up in the differences between yours and someone else's, and appreciating what you can do. And you will just get naturally better when you practice something, right?
For sure, yeah.
And so my chapter 200 is not going to be the same as your chapter 2, right? It's just not.
Yeah.
And so trying to get out of your head, I guess, and just enjoy the process. Right? That's what it's all about.
How were you able to kind of do that?
Time.
Yeah.
Time and practice.
I was afraid of.
Uh-huh.
It's always time.
It is. And yeah, really it's just time. And I think confidence, right? Yeah, and that comes with time and comes with practice. And just reminding myself too, and which helps taking classes. I think it helps, right? Because you get reminded that you're not supposed to, right? Not be upset with yourself, and appreciate what you can do, and look at it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's what the secret is. So I think Munchin, actually, as I was trying to figure out if there was a story next to it, I think that Munchin was an oops, and we call them oops opportunities. I think Molly, now don't quote me on this one, I think again it was Molly trying to draw a different pattern, and it might have been paradox, which is a complicated one, and she ended up with this instead. And so that often happens too, right?
Yeah.
Is that you think that maybe you're drawing something and then it goes another direction, and all of a sudden you got a new pattern. So, okay, let's draw Indie-rella though, because I love Indie-rella. Indie-rella is like these little fish,
Yeah.
right? And what I like to do with fish, and again this is Deb's version, right, is I like to almost puzzle piece them together so that they all kind of fit in like a pool of fish that you see often in the videos.
Yeah.
Have you seen those where the shark comes in and the pool of fish they're all sticking together, right?
Yeah.
And they're going in the same direction. They look like they're almost joined together. That's how I kind of like to do these guys. So let's think of the little fish. So I'm going to go where I've got kind of an opening into my munchin, right?
Okay.
So I've got here and I've got here. So I'm going to, actually I'll start here. It's a bigger space. It'll be easier to see. So I'm going to start with kind of the nose, maybe it's an eye, of Indie-rella, and it's a dot. And then I'm going to curve it's just really their bone structure is what we're seeing. It's almost like they're the glow-in-the-dark or the see-through fish.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been to a tropical island that had those little fish?
I haven't seen it in
I don't
person,
think
no.
so.
They're kind of creepy. But really cool. So they're
Yeah.
clear and you just really see their insides, right? That's kind of what this is. You're just kind of seeing the insides of them. So it's going to wrap around like a reverse C, going small and parallel to each other. So they're wrapping around. It's an aura, almost like the Wi-Fi symbol.
Oh yeah.
Okay, do you see that? And they're gradually getting bigger and wider, and then they're going to get small again. So as wide as you want them, and then they're going to get smaller, 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 and then I like to put a little tail on them.
No.
Cute.
So you decide how fat your little fishies get,
Mhm.
how long they are, right? How narrow, how long. And then I like to puzzle them together. So that's my first one. He's my guide.
Mhm.
Okay. So the next one is going to come up here, and it's going to fit the space that is kind of there.
How many patterns do you think you know?
Oh my goodness. Off the top of my head that I can draw without the step out, maybe 50 or so.
Oh my
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, there's so many of them, right? There's thousands of patterns. So there's some I've never even heard of before. Zentangle themselves have over 100. It used to be 102 exactly, but they've been obviously adding to their collection as well over the years. But I don't know all of theirs even. So yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot to remember.
It's kind of nice that you can continue to grow, and it's not something that you kind of just hit like a certain point and you're stagnant with it.
Oh my goodness, no! I don't think you'd ever get bored with it because there is always change. If it's not coming right from headquarters, and it's another teacher doing something kind of fun and interesting, and yeah, always something to explore. And then they're always kind of showing us new products and whatnot too, right? So, and that's the fun of going to the retreats and the reunions is learning new things and bringing it back to your own people and sharing it with others.
Yeah, and like putting your own spin on it too.
Yeah.
Is that what you'd say your favorite part of like teaching would be? Like being able to share everything with everyone else?
Oh, definitely. I love sharing a new idea, a new supply. We're a bit enabling in the art department. But I like to say in my classes to use what you have, which is really the true Zentangle philosophy too, is that it's nice to have all the supplies and all the fun things, but you don't really need that, right? If you can only afford a stick in the sand, I think we talked about this before, that's what you use, right? And so that's kind of where my Back to the Roots classes came to be, was like, okay, let's dial that back a bit. You really only need a pen, a pencil, and a piece of paper. And some of my students are using scrap paper. Some are using a scrap book. Some are using a dollar store piece of cardstock, right? It's whatever they've got in front of them at the time. So yeah, I think that's really fun. But I do like enabling people too. Because I always discover new supplies and new ways of using them, and so to share that with people is always fun. And but yeah, if they don't have the means, money wise or resources to be able to get the things, that's okay too. And any one of my classes can be done basically with a pen and a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So
Why do you think it's important to offer these classes, like here in Fort St. John, as well as I know you do online classes, kind of worldwide? So.
yeah, it is.
You're like
It's
Mr.
very much.
Worldwide.
It is worldwide. Oh my goodness, there's so many of us now, and we literally are worldwide. I think that we're such a tapped in, as we talked about earlier, about being online all the time, right? That people aren't using the right side of their brain as much as we used to. I think when I was a kid, we didn't have electronics like we do now. And so if you wanted to do something, you went outside and you played, or you went to the playground, or you drew, right? And so lots of coloring, lots of drawing. And I think that's gotten to be a lost art with a lot of people now. Right? Is that we're so plugged in all the time that this gives everyone a mental break, right? And that time away from screen time that a lot of our younger people could definitely do, right? So that's important to me. And again, the affordability of it, the portability of it, I think it just became to me such a easy, accessible art method,
Mhm.
right? That anyone can do literally, as long as you can pick and hold
Yeah.
a pen, right?
Mhm.
And you can do it. Even those that don't think that they're artistic, right, can still do it and still achieve that Zen.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's really powerful. And then being able to share it online is awesome.
Mhm.
But you know what? I went down and taught some seniors, a little town south of us, in
Aww.
Taylor, asked me to come down and teach. I don't do a whole lot of in-person anymore. I have the student that comes here during the school year once a week, and then I went down to Taylor and taught a group of seniors.
Mhm.
So nice.
That was really fun to do.
Yeah.
So I do those kind of things too.
And I'm sure they probably appreciated that because it's something
They want me
that-
to come back. I'll be going back next year.
Oh, that's so
nice.
exciting.
And we'll do this, right? This is the second class kind
Yeah.
of in the series, and then after that it's then tan tiles but the square,
Okay, yeah.
and then the gray tiles but again in the square.
Mhm.
So there's kind of the 4 sets of kits that allows you to expand in your supplies
Mhm.
and your tangle pattern.
And that's kind of nice
library.
too because you don't need to buy everything all at once. You know, it's very like gradual and whenever you want to do it, which is nice.
Yeah, that's right. And getting the kits, then you add to your supplies. So you've got right now you've got a black pen and a white pen,
Mhm.
gray pencil and a white pencil,
Yeah.
a couple tortillons, right? And so then when you do the brown one, you get a brown pen, but you can use your black pen on it too,
Yeah.
and your white pen, right?
That's so fun.
Get a new tortillon, and I think it comes with another white pencil,
Mhm.
and then the gray one comes with a blue pen,
Oh.
which is fun, and a
Mhm.
blue piece of chalk pastel, which is fun, and I think another tortillon. Not sure. Anyway, so you're adding to your supplies, and you can mix and match them.
Yeah.
And do different things, right? Okay, let's add some. Did you put your initials, your chalk on the
Yes.
Oh, I
front?
forgot.
Those are so fun. Ta-da.
Oh my goodness.
Look at how different, right? We all did the same thing, and look how different we
Yeah.
are, right?
They're
And
all
that's
so
kind of the fun of going freestyle, right?
Mhm.
Is,
Yeah.
you know, when you do the same string, they're going to be similar, more similar, right? But when
Yeah.
you go freestyle like this, they're
It's completely different, yeah.
totally different. So we'll have to get a picture of those two. Oh, I love your big fat fish.
Yeah, it looks so
Thank
cute.
you. They're so
Oh, and
cute.
yours are so dainty. Yeah. Look how those are.
Aw.
Look how different they are.
It's so cute because yeah, they're so
Insane.
different, but they all go together.
Yeah.
And it's so
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, those are awesome. You guys did great on those.
So did you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well done.
Crushed it, team.
We missed our favorite question, so now we're going to ask it. What is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Well, it's a Zentangle one actually, and it's they say anything is possible, one step at a time. And so in art as well as real life, I think that's the case. You can pretty much tackle anything if you just do it one thing at a time, one step at a time.
Perfect. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Hey everyone, just finished up with Deb and I feel so zen.
Me too. I feel relaxed. I'm ready to take on the rest of our interviews. It's gonna be a good day. It was so fun. It always is so,
So
fun with
fun.
Deb. It feels like you're literally at just like a friend's house, just hanging out, vibing out. I was like completely mute almost that whole video because I was so into the Zentangles. But that's the whole point of it.
Even if you're not super into art, like I think I said this last time, but I'm not a person who does things when I'm not automatically good at them. And so I struggle sometimes doing art and things that I'm not automatically good at. But the Zentangle is just so relaxing and chill, and Deb is such a sweet lady and is just so fun to hang out with and talk to. And she just makes you feel so good about the work that you do. I was so
Yeah.
proud of myself for like trying so hard. So you should definitely take a class if that's of interest to you. She's absolutely wonderful. Or even if you're just like, oh, maybe this would be fun. It will be fun. Try it.
It is
Do
fun.
it. Guaranteed you will surprise yourself and love it. So
Check
check
it
it
out.
out.